Yes! Yes, guys, and it's me, James Davis. Right now, it's dark out.
Soil management, and the term Dust Bowl was first used the next day to describe the plains. Where in the world?
Well, hello, little man. Sorry, he was being mean. He was being mean to me, little man. Because I wasn't very nice at school today, because I was so bad at school. Because I'll be better at school in the morning.
Though one of them might have been named for this city. Now a capital, it was once an ancient empire. This is Rome, an Italian home. And then sweep toward the east coast. The day known as Black Sunday was blamed on
who? Are you guys ready for 1v1 with every gun?
And the term Dust Bowl was first used the next day to describe the plains. Where in the world? This is not the oldest community in Europe, but it does date back more than 2,700 years.
So everybody join my party.
States that it was founded by mythological twins named Romulus and Remus, though one of them might have been named for this city. Now a capital, it was once an ancient empire. This is Rome, an Italian home city to more than 4 million people.
The Romans were prolific road builders, laying down thousands of miles to expand and maintain their empire. And turns out these roads go further than we thought. Researchers from Denmark and Spain have discovered possibly 62,000 additional miles. Roman roads are now estimated to stretch 186,000 miles in total, long enough to wrap around the world more than 7 times. This discovery, thanks to a new digital map that shows the Roman road system during the height of that empire. The routes were identified and recreated using historical sources, as well as modern imagery, SATs, maps, and photos. Some sections are still visible today, but the digital map shows mostly theoretical roads. Only about 3% of routes are certain, 7% hypothesized, and 90% conjecture. But one thing we do know, Roman highways helped shape the modern world as we know it. What set Rome apart is that its roads connected many local routes. The extensive network they built is how we get the saying, all roads lead to Rome. For the first time, it was possible to move armies overland from Syria to Spain quickly and resupply them, thus making it easier to control a widespread empire. Ancient Rome's capital had a population of around 1 million at its peak, and it couldn't grow enough food locally to sustain the city. Roads made transporting supplies in quick and easy. Today, many roads in Europe follow the same path as Rome's ancient routes.
A logo windbreaker. A Fridays are awesome sling bag with everybody's favorite hairline. These are ways to show you've got spirit, for the world from A to Z. Check out our new merch store at worldatozorg/store, or just scroll down on our website and click Shop Our Merch Store. It means the world to have you wearing the world from A to Z. Today's requests all came from the comments on our YouTube channel, and they take us to 3/4 of the continental U.S. First stop is in Lake City, Florida, where it's always nighttime at Belmont Academy. Hello, Mrs. Tillotson's class. We're happy to see the staff and students of Edna Drinkwater School. The Bobcats are here from Northport, Maine. And finally, the Lynx are the mascot of A.J. Diamond High School. It's in Anchorage, Alaska, where it's great to see Miss Fraser Drath and her students. So there's a Guinness World Record for the most fast food restaurants visited in 24 hours. A Nigerian man walked to 150 places, eating at least one food or drink item from each of them. Well, a group of runners in Utah thought they could do better. So 8 of them set out on foot, sampling everything from applesauce to an order of fries to whatever this might have been. They posted their route online so people could follow them without joining in the indigestion, and at the end of a very long run, they tallied up visits to 176 fast food joints. It was a sonic run-through with a lot of Wingstops that wouldn't have been faster on the subway. You can KFC why more than 5 guys looking to nothing like Burger Kings and Dairy Queens, Chick-fil-Aing up on fast food at a fast pace. I'm Carl Lazuz, stuffed with puns on the world from A to Z. We hope we can dine with you again tomorrow. You mean the world to me.
The new Tide Evo, the new laundry detergent that works like a real laundry magic. It started with a few strands, and then it was everywhere. Stop the shedding with Pantene Abundant and Strong System, powered by Pro Vitamins. Reduces hair loss by 85%. Grow healthier hair without the $180 price tag. Pantene. Ranger knows that if you're a school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority. That's why you can rely on Ranger for a range of cleaning products and equipment.
Hello?
Disinfectants to floor scrubbers.
Ah!
Ranger, for the ones
What did I
who
do?
get it.
Didn't even do anything. You have got to be kidding me.
Let's say you want to learn scuba diving, but you live in Finland, northern Finland, like where the lake is still frozen 30 inches thick in mid-March. And as far as the water beneath that goes, it's about 35.5 degrees Fahrenheit, cold that makes your lips swell and go numb. Plus, there's added risk. A member
Hey,
of the
is everyone ready for 1v1 with every gun?
says it's like an ice cave. You can't just surface upward when you're ready.
You
have
are?
to find your way back to the hole cut through the ice, which allowed you to get down here in the first place. So why are people doing this? Research. It's estimated there are only 100 or 200 scientific divers on Earth who are able to explore in places like this. It's not always easy to access the Arctic or the Antarctic. At least one of these folks has done research on the southernmost continent before, while another said you gotta be a little crazy to venture into what he called the second most hostile environment known to man behind space. The world under the ice is a whole new one. From the water to the sky, we're spending some time in space.
To infinity and beyond.
I'm Carl Lazuz. So good to have you watching
Beyond?
Wednesdays, our Mid. Today marks exactly 47 years since the first completed space shuttle, one named Columbia, was delivered to the John F. Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Almost
To
5
infinity
decades
and
later,
B.
a new space race is taking place, the
Yeah.
current one being between the U.S. and China. The Asian country plans to put humans on the moon by 2030. America's NASA agency says it's aiming to do that by 2028, before the end of President Donald Trump's second term in office. And in an accelerated timetable announced yesterday, NASA says it's planning to build a base on the moon and establish a human presence there, potentially like the one at the International Space Station. The moon is almost 1,000 times farther away from Earth than the ISS, and while the organization says this is all about American leadership in space, with
Have you heard of
success
6-7?
being measured in months, not years, the projected cost of the base alone is $20 billion over the next 7 years. And it comes with the challenge of reconfiguring a mission. NASA was developing a space station that would orbit the moon. Now it wants a facility on its surface. The agency's had a number of problems and delays with its Artemis moon program. There have been concerns about safety. But NASA says it's, quote, committed to achieving the near impossible once again, and that there are great opportunities for science and discovery. The last time anyone set foot on the moon was in 1972.
As folks near Houston, Texas saw, and these dogs felt, a meteor disintegrate overhead, one woman believes she had a much closer encounter with the outer space object.
So I come on over here and look. There's a hole in the ceiling, a big dent in the floor.
Sherry James says a fragment of the rock smashed into her home on Saturday.
I said, I don't know what this is, but I said, this might be a meteor.
James had the fire department come take a look.
So they came and took pictures of it, and then they left.
In a post, NASA confirmed a 1-ton meteor caused the atmospheric agitation, releasing the energy equivalent of 26 tons of TNT into the sky, noting local reports of fragments hitting a house and showing a map where pieces of the meteor may have possibly crashed down.
You got a friend
sight
in what?
Sound experienced by many across the region.
And that sounded like just like a huge sound of thunder. It kind of shook.
According to KTRK, James is going to contact NASA to try and confirm the authenticity of the cosmic crashdown and get a roof repaired.
Word it out. What kind of natural event was actually forecast for the first time on March 25th, 1948? Blizzard, hurricane landfall, tsunami, tornado.
Tornado.
Which one?
Tornado.
Tornado.
With similar conditions to a previous event, 5
Who's
days
right?
earlier, forecasters successfully predicted a tornado
Good.
in Oklahoma's Tinker Air Force Base.
March 25th, 1965 was when civil rights activists completed a historic march from Selma, Alabama to the state capitol in Montgomery. The event, led by Martin Luther King Jr., was part of a series of protests against poll taxes and literacy tests, which had impeded the voting rights of African Americans and some other groups in the region. The federal government passed the Voting Rights Act of 1965 less than 5 months after the march. March 25th, 1911 was the date of an industrial tragedy in New York City. A fire that started at the Triangle Shirtwaist Company killed 146 workers, and many of the deaths would have been prevented by safety measures like unlocked doors and a sprinkler system. The fire brought attention to sweatshop conditions in factories and led to new worker protections. And this was the date in 1655 when Dutch astronomer Christian Huygens discovered a moon of another planet. That moon is Titan, the planet is Saturn, and as he continued to study it with his advanced equipment, Huygens later Titan, the planet is Saturn, and as he continued to study it with his advanced equipment, Huygens later identified the shape of Saturn's
What's that?
moon. Is it constitutional? The Constitution does not limit speech at schools or educational institutions. True or false? This is true. The words school and education don't appear in the document, but the Supreme Court has allowed limits on speech that's considered inappropriate or interferes with education.
Did you know Hazelwood v. Kohlmeyer addresses the limits of student-free speech in public schools? Visit periodicpresidents.com to learn about other landmark Supreme Court cases.
And a welcome sign for many that summer's around the corner, today is opening day in Major League Baseball. Millions will head to the ballparks, rooting for their home team. Thrilling moments can happen in any of the 9 innings, but there's one that comes as a relief to those sitting in the stands.
When you head to a baseball game, there are many traditions, but there's one in particular with a unique origin. Wearing your team's apparel,
Like
grabbing
home
a
base?
stadium hot dog, and of course singing along to...
Sing along to the batter?
Just a few things people do at a baseball game, but one well-known tradition is the 7th inning stretch, where fans get up from their seats to take a little break. But how did the 7th inning stretch become a baseball tradition? There are actually 3 possible answers. The most well-known involves the 27th president, William Howard Taft. In 1910, Taft was at an opening game in Washington, D.C. In the middle of the 7th inning, the president decided it was time for a break, so he stood up to stretch his legs. And baseball fans also stood up, not to stretch, but out of respect for Taft because the crowd thought he was leaving the game. On to the next explanation. In 1882, Brother Jasper, the first baseball coach at Manhattan College, was sitting at a game. He noticed fans were getting antsy and rambunctious, so he called for a timeout during, you guessed it, the 7th inning. Jasper told spectators to get up and stretch their legs. It's assumed Jasper's idea was continued by the Major League Baseball team, the New York Giants. However, the origin of the oldest theory comes from here in Cincinnati. In 1869, manager Harry Wright documented what he saw in between innings. Now, what did this tale suggest he witnessed?
The spectators all arise between halves of the 7th inning, extend their legs and arms, and sometimes walk about. In so doing, they enjoy the relief afforded by relaxation from a long posture on hard benches,
Where's the document? No one really knows. That's why these 3 stories are just theories. But fact or fiction, we're glad for just one of the fun baseball traditions fans love.
Not a lot of people say Connecticut, but it's fun to do. That's where we're going to today's first school, Brookfield High School, where the Bobcats from Mr. Brenia's class are with us from Brookfield, Connecticut. The Hawks are up next, the one soaring over Rio Rico High in Rio Rico, Arizona. Big hello to Miss Ojeda's class. And then there are the Red Hawks, Mr. Ridgway.
Colorado.
In your class at Cole Ridge Middle. Thanks for watching from Firestone, Colorado. Finally today, unveiling the ultimate animal edition of Are You Gonna Eat That? One of these gorillas at the Memphis Zoo has a snack. The other doesn't, but appears to gape intriguingly at the treat. Now don't feel bad about this. Before you shed sympathy for the snackless simian, the zoo says it refused the exact same food just moments before its friends started eating. So this is like when my sister always tries to steal my fries, saying yours are better. But that expression, it wondered if the other primate followed it, saying it's simians like it should share. Shocked it go really wouldn't. Thought it was pretty lowland for one not to do something good all and give silver back to its community, and probably wish there were other drinking gorillas in the midst. I'm Carl Azus. That's the world from A to Z. Leaves the world to have you watching.
Oh, Carl.
Yeah, I can enjoy. I have no one else to play with.
Only Cascade Platinum Plus has double the dawn to clean your dishes and your filter. Cascade.
So, who's ready up? Who wants to ready up? And be what? Be what? To infinity and be.
They might not be the most photogenic
And beyond?
on the planet.
To infinity and be.
Picture for an endangered species.
Beyond.
These are giant.
What comes after the B?
Because the males can grow to be almost 6 feet long and weigh as much as 70 pounds. They're also triplets, and that's especially good news from our friends at Good News Network for an animal whose numbers in the wild are thought to be fewer than 5,000. Giant otters typically live near the Amazon in South America. These 3 pups were born to a zoo in the United Kingdom that's participating in an international effort to keep the species alive. Their decrease in numbers has been blamed on pollution, illegal hunting, and deforestation. But a conservation officer says nurturing them in places like the Chester Zoo, while also helping restore their habitats in the wild, are hoped to ensure that giant otters will stick around for many years to come. For the time being, the triplets, 2 males and 1 female, are busy learning survival skills from their parents. For the world from A to Z, welcome to the show. Significant changes are on the way for the video game platform Roblox. It says it has 144 million people who use it each day, creating their own games or playing those made by others. Roughly 40% of Roblox users are 12 years old or younger, and several international governments have accused Roblox of not doing enough to protect children with inappropriate content and adults who want to harm them. There have been dozens of lawsuits filed against the company over this. Roblox says it has safeguards for kids built into the platform and that it works with
Alright, I'm not going to leave you, bro. I'm just saying.
Young users. But it also says it's rolling out 2 new types of accounts later this spring. Roblox Kids, for people ages 5 through 8, will turn off the chat feature, limit games they can play based on maturity level, and have strict rules for game creators. Roblox Select, for users ages 9 through 15,